yeah, I stopped working there, and then living there sucked. And then I had to get out of there. I was in love with this chick in BC because, you know, we really got along. And then I left Montreal and I moved in with them. Okay, which was huge for me because I had never left Montreal. Like my Jerry, the rich guy with the printing company, I actually lived with him for a while in Joliet at his ranch, at his cat cottage, which was great. That was probably the best part of my childhood. And he would drive me back every day. He would literally love this cottage so much. Like he built the cottage mostly, and I built some of it too. And some of our relatives were there building rock. What do you call it? Rock walls and stuff like that. And hang on, let me sit on this bench. And that was great period. But what I was trying to say was he drove once to Algonquin, Maine with me and his son. Yeah, one of his sons died of lupus or something when he was young. And his ex-wife was Susan, who was my mom's best friend. And that's how everybody knows each other. So, where was I? Yeah, I left that job and... Okay, now, I had to get out of there. Wait a second. Yeah, wait a second. I was in love with this girl, Eva. Her name was... I shouldn't say her last name. Man, I became really obsessed with this girl. Maybe... That was like my first big relationship. Kind of, I guess. And it's kind of pathetic because it's just like, oh yeah, we like Matthew Good. And then she had like broken her leg and then we were like falling in love online. But it was pretty pathetic. And I was pretty pathetic still. So... let's see. Yes. So, a relative came to visit. I think he donated me like $200 to my cause or whatever. Because I had to get out of there. I couldn't stand living there. And it's not like I was really close with my mom. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even really like hug her. Oh yeah, I probably hugged her. Like I hugged her when I came back from BC. But let's see. But we all did a lot of drinking and a lot of smoking at Colts. And then I would start working or whatever. It was great. I was working out in the garage. I was still really young, so I was still really built and everything. I was just actually building myself. And I'd been working out and building myself in Verdun. So I was really fit. Really fit. Then I had to get the fuck out of there. So I got a job at Kelsey's, which was a nightmare, as it always will be a nightmare. Oh man, I can't remember. I just remembered. I remember I did the dumbest thing at Kelsey's I've ever done in my life. Okay, I dropped the thongs in the hot oil of the French fryer, right? And immediately I stuck my hand right in and got him. And you know, I probably did it really fast, but it was nuts. And I think I was like, oh shit, holy shit. And then the manager, who's like with the siren turn thing going, let's go, and it's just insane, right? In these kitchens, these jobs, like you'd rather be homeless than work there, but you're still young and you have no choice, basically, right? So especially me, I was screwed. I made enough money there to fly to BC or something, or I had like $2,000, I think. And then I hugged my mom, and it was like, okay, bye, good luck, and they kept giving me all this advice and stuff, because my mom had done it so many times, as I've told you. So BC was a part of her. And I remember my mom, for a long time, she never spoke to her mom. I mean, not because of the Jehovah's Witness shit, But my mom would drink a lot. After she broke up with the cheap guy, she had an apartment with this girl who has one arm, and they've been friends for a long time. She actually slapped me, maybe because I was such a black sheep of the family. Before I left for BC, they were drinking on the couch, and I came upstairs, and then she just slaps me across the face, and I didn't even react. I didn't violently or anything, and then my mother laughed, or something, or I can't remember. Drinking wine and everything. They're winos, right? So I fly to BC to meet Eva, and things were actually, even though there was a period where we weren't talking as much as in Montreal, everything kind of worked. I guess she was single at the time, and maybe thought I had, I don't know, some money to blow. I don't know. So, because what I realized later was she was like a alcoholic, and my drinking was never even close to where it'd be now. Like, I would never crave it or go get it and stuff like that. Even when I was when I came back from there and I was landscaping near there. Okay. Yeah, so we hit it off. I think we made love like probably the first night where I was there, and we just hit it off. I started smoking again because to save up that money, I had to quit smoking. And I started smoking right away, and we were drinking, and the drinking probably was new for me. But that really didn't work out. And then, as it probably never would. I mean, we're totally different people anyways. She's way smarter than me, and just like Lucy is. But that's what makes them attractive, right? Anyways, things were okay, but I didn't have anything going on other than, I guess, my looks, right? So, I exhausted my funds, and then I got a job at Cypress Hill. But the thing was, I had to take this big bus lift out there. And then you know what? When I first got there, I didn't move in with her. I think I moved into, it wasn't a hostel, because I've done that once in BC. It was, it was this crazy apartment. I remember that. I got a whole bunch of stories about that place, where people from the Cypress Mountain would live in this communal, rundown, almost like, not really, it looked kind of normal, but somehow it was condemned or something, but it was there right behind one of the main streets, and one of the Asian areas or whatever. I don't know if I moved there first for like a month, and then I moved in with her. Yeah, I think that was it. And that was fun, but then I almost wanted to kill some guy because he was hitting. One of the nights she came over and we had a party there. They had parties there all the time, but and I was like a novice, so I got drunk and then I puked out my window in my room, my crappy room. And then she was there at the party, and then I heard that the other guys, or one of them, was hitting on her or whatever. So I wanted to get him, and that was really frustrating. And I didn't do anything, but I think I got at it. Obviously I didn't want to live there anymore, and it was not really. It was kind of really a hostile place. I mean, it was a weird place. So I could talk about that later. And then I eventually moved in with her. And then, but that didn't last long because she had a full-time job, and she got bored of coming home and seeing me there. Even though I was blowing all this money, buying big $40 lobsters from Kitsilano and all this shit. Kitsilano is the most expensive place in whatever. But not only was I not experienced in whatever, probably sex or relationships, but I was broke. And I'm kind of the same still. But things were not working out. And she was a real big trunk. So it wouldn't even have mattered if I was the perfect guy. She was so drunk that she would or maybe she was just getting so wasted to come home and collapse so that I would just move out. And basically I already knew that I was trying to move out. But finding a place in Kitsilano was like impossible. Like even if you found a room near that, I was looking for a room around there, which was even dumber. And I was like all upset and emotional, and well, not yet. And oh yeah, I got to work at this gym there. I started working at this gym at the end there, downtown BC, and that was a trek. And I wasn't making any money, and it was so stupid. I don't know why they put me there. And there was a girl that used to work there with me, and then I had to make my exit basically. And then I think I only had enough money to go back to Kitchener-Waterloo. So yeah. Eventually, later on, when you'll hear in my stories, I drove back to BC and moved into that same crappy house, and it was probably much worse. Yeah, it was worse. And then, I had to duck out of there quick. But that's a whole nother story. Yeah, I remember that because I was in the bathroom and I didn't realize that they were both cokeheads. Big cokeheads. Snowblowers or whatever. Probably, I don't even know. I'm not a big druggie. But they were they were down bad. You know what I mean? And then I went in the bathroom and there was $3,000 or $2,000 in cash, right? And I was like, holy shit. And then afterwards I realized that I should have took it. It's another big mistake I made in my life. But I was scared because I was like, these guys are really fucking crazy. They were both nutcases. That was for sure, right? That was guaranteed. And I was like, fuck, I'm out here on my own. I'm not gonna touch that money, man. When I was in BC, I didn't steal. I think I stole a sweater once when I was at a hostel. It was in a bathroom, so that's not really technically stealing. And then I had to bolt from there. I was like, yo, you got some money in a bathroom, bro? And he's like, oh yeah. And then I think he didn't even know. They were such blowheads that they forgot that they had all the rent money hidden somewhere. Or one of the, there was an Asian guy hiding in his room all the time. Maybe it was his money, but it was behind this head shaver way deep in the bottom of the fucking, under the sink thing. Disgusting bathroom. Ugh. Oh, every bathroom's disgusting. Anyways, back to the story. I left. Oh yeah, I came back, hugged my mom. Then I started getting really emotional and missing her and being pathetic. This went on for months, and that was really tough on me because then she had to just block me out, right? And I never spoke to her again, which is sad. I think eventually I deleted all the pictures of her that I have on my USBs, which I usually do, and have a relationship, and then I break up with them. But no, I think I stopped doing that at that point. And then I had to go back to BC. Back to Kitchener-Waterloo, and then that was horrible because I was crawling back there, right? And then I think I got my shit in gear. I did the recycling, I think, after that time. But that was like a stretch for me. My bike would break or something in the winter. I was like biking in the winter all the way there. This is insane. And then I found that landscape. I got into landscaping. I even got a irrigation technician thing from Perth and the whole association, Ontario. And I worked for like 3, maybe 4 years for this dick who was kind of like, well, he was okay, but I wanted to at least get some money. And it was like 14 or 15 or 16. I can't even remember, but I was like, yo, I need to. I was probably in my prime physically, so I was like just killing all this lawn care and this crazy stone work and all this stuff. And I'll die of skin cancer from I never used sunblock when I was doing all that landscaping. I was black, you know. And then I really wanted to get laid, so I wanted to start dating. And then I had never had a vehicle. I think I had never had a vehicle before. So I was like 30, I think, or maybe 28. So I had to get a loan from him, and he was like, "Oh, okay," and he gave me this totally shit loan and I got this shit old 74, 77, I think, like Ford F-150 or something. It was like blue and white within the thing. Old piece of shit, and it barely fucking run. I think I paid the guy like $600. This old man on the street, I can't remember who referred me to him. Somebody from work. And then I just bought it, and then even the gas station that was supposed to like check the fumes for the inspections and all that. I gave him like some money, and then like he just like passed it, and I had this crappy truck, and then I spray painted it. I remember I dumped. There was a cover on the back, but I just wanted the flatbed, like all the landscapers around, or like I just wanted to be more. Excuse me. I just wanted it off. I hated that thing. So I dumped it in the woods. I went on this like secluded road, bucked it off, took off. Then I got it. Wait, let me light a cigarette. Then I got it. I spray painted it black with spray cans, and I had moved in with Florian. This guy, he's a cool guy, because he was working there too, and he was like my manager, but he was like a kid. He was still young. They were like college kids, or not even. And because KW is a college town, and and it was fun for me because I was living with young guys, and there was a lot of hot chicks, so I met a lot of hot chicks, and I was like really probably, you know, I was really ripped, like probably my abs and all that were like at their peak, and I was really like into my working out and everything. So I get the truck, and then I started getting laid, obviously. Finally. And that was great, but got screwed again, or I felt I got screwed by the landscapers. I wanted to become a painter. I started painting for these guys on the side, and then I actually got a job there. And I was like, fuck your loan, dickhead. They both ripped me off. Basically, I could go through it all. And so I knew that I had skills, but I knew that I'd be better at painting because of a couple of factors. And then when I got into painting, I loved it. But I didn't know how to paint. I remember once I was crying because I didn't know how to paint a couple of times. Because they would just berate me like they're trying to teach me how to paint, right? Like, what the fuck are you doing? No. And I was like, oh my god. And met a lot of good painters. They taught me how to paint. You know, Dave became one of my, to this day I'm still in contact with him. One of the only people I'm in contact with. And well, actually I'm in contact with a couple of painters still. And I moved out of there and in with Dave because I was painting with him, and he was a wild guy, man. Well, obviously he's like was an alcoholic, and but he was an amazing painter. He was a spray man. I wasn't so much a spray man. I wasn't even a taper yet. So I wasn't even a painter yet. So I thought I was. But you think you're better than you are, and you want more money. And I got an eye injury. My own mistake. I took the glasses off, and I'm grinding a baseball field railing. But I learned a lot of spraying with them and everything in industrial, commercial areas, hockey arenas. It was great. I loved it. I still love it, but I can't. I don't want to drive anymore. Well, I would, but right now I can't. I'm not in a big city area. I mean, I don't know yet. Right now, I'm on a whole different vibe. I gotta get out of this area. But first, you know. So anyways, I'm moving with him. It's wild. He's drinking a lot. I start drinking, but nothing like him. More weed, still a big weed head I've always smoked weed since I was young. Finally, I got the eye injury, and then I was like, fuck you, man. They didn't even really do shit. So, I was like, fuck this shit. I was like, I'm gonna go back to Montreal, or I'm gonna... And then I fell in love with that supermodel chick, or she did with me. Because she was at Dave's. And then she was dating this guy who was on the couch, I think. But he had like a bag or some kind of medical issue. But he had a lot of money or something, and he had properties and a nice car. And then Dave's like, "Oh yeah, show her your abs." And it's, you know, like I think I did. And then that's it. Boom. She's like, fell in love with me. And then I think we exchanged numbers somehow. She got my number right there, or through Dave a couple of days later, and then texted me like, and we were like texting. I guess she wasn't really in a big dating thing with him, right? And then I was like, "Oh yeah, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, playing with myself." So then it was on from there, right? Holy fuck, right? But I wasn't going after. I don't go after women, really. I mean, sometimes I would meet women at Starbucks a lot when I was dating, and I'd meet them from online. But I would never chase them. And I would meet women from my past, and then like realize, oh, okay, it's not going to work out really. So, anyways, I'm gonna move back to Montreal. And I was like, I gotta move back to Montreal, but I'm like, I can't move back in with that crazy old man, because I know I need a room, a base to land in, and then like get situated so I can set up. So that's the whole thing. So then I end up just losing it. I'm like fucking living with him, and he's doing nothing. He doesn't even give a shit, really. He's a great painter, but he just wants to drink and chill out right now. And we didn't have that much money, so it's good times though. I really miss that time there. But the eye injury broke me. Like, they pulled the metal out. That was fucking horrendous. Oh, that's a whole nother story I'll tell. And then I said, fuck this, I gotta go back to Montreal. So I moved in with the crazy old man. That was a friggin' nightmare. Then I met one of the women that I went to grade school with on Plenty of Fish or something, or their Lava Life, or I don't even know. And then I started dating her. But she got ripped off by some big criminal in the news. Some con man. I can't even remember her name. And it was okay. We started dating and that, but I was thinking of joining the army at that point, I think, which is probably that was never going to happen. I had almost joined the army in Kitchener-Waterloo. Yeah, my mom almost got me into the army, and then I felt like, what, you're trying to get me into the army? Like, I didn't like it. But I mean, me and my mom really weren't that close, So then I moved back. I'm dating her. I dated some chicks in when I was living with a lot of chicks when I was living with Florian in his condo in his basement. That was a great time. Plus we went like camping on the beaches and shit. I met with the downtown life. I'd just go downtown, party at clubs, bars, whatever. And I don't know, I've always looked young. I still look young. So I mean, I do have like a gray beard and everything now, but and then the thing was, I stayed in contact with Melissa, and then like it got even closer with us. But things didn't work out with, what's her name? I can't remember her name. She was kind of really emotional. And I couldn't really handle that baggage. And then I think she had like a thing with some nearby guy. And then I tried to come back. I would always kind of do that if I was bored. I was living in the East. And then I would be like, oh yeah, let's get back together. Da, 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 da. Just dumb stuff. And then I went to I was doing landscaping with this guy in the East, but he was really a shitty landscaper. I think he was just doing blow, apparently, at this bar. Wait, let me clip this.